Take 47. Hi there, I'm Alex and this is Ukes of Alex, a ukulele channel where we dive headfirst into ukulele and ukulele culture, come up for air and just try and have as much fun as we can along the way. And today's video is a bit different. I'm rooting this video in my own personal experience with the ukulele. It might differ to yours and I'd love to hear yours in the comments section. The topic we're going to discuss today is, when did the tenor ukulele become the thing, the norm, the standard, the thing that professional players play, the thing that best represents the sound that we associate with the ukulele? Because that's changed in the 14 years that I've been working with ukuleles. It used to be around 2007, 2008, 9 when I was working with the ukulele for the first time. We would mainly, at the Southern Ukulele Store, we'd mainly sell sopranos and concerts. Occasionally we'd sell a tenor, but I remember vividly the first Kawaloa Kanalea ukuleles I tried, the first Kiwaya ukuleles I tried, they were all sopranos. And what happened is, around 2011, the popularity shifted. The instrument, and it exploded. And with that came an evolution that really interested me. People began to try concerts more. And if you look back through the internet and you look at advice websites or websites, blogs, etc., where people were talking to you about what to do with the ukulele, it became about the concert. And that shifted again. And I'm trying to think when it shifted. I feel like around 2016, I noticed more and more that people were playing tenors. That could be because of my own experiences, because I was playing mainly concert ukuleles until around 2016. And then I started to really bond with some Kanalea tenors and Kawaloa tenors. And I think, listening to the big name players of the early ukulele boom of 2010-ish, players like James Hill, players like Jake Shimabukuro, later on players like Taimani and players like Manitoba Howe, and so many players from different genres, different parts of the world. They were all playing tenor. They were all sounding very much like a ukulele player, but Garn was that kind of rinky-dink percussive sound that we all associated with the ukulele, coming back from decades earlier. And all of a sudden, ukulele players out there were playing fingerstyle. They were playing more flamenco. Audrey Guerrero, another good example. Around the time I met Audrey Guerrero in 2014 for the first time, he was the first tenor ukulele player I played where people were trying to emulate how he played. So when did the tenor become the standard? Was it something that gradually happened over that 2014 to 2018 period? How much of a role did Ukulele Underground and Audrey Guerrero play in that? I imagine it was quite a lot. So that early ukulele scene, the ukulele site were kind of the hub for, with players like Corey and Calais, who are still doing it today, but also Herb Otter Jr. and the modern players that you see, Craig Chi, Sarah Maisel, mainly playing tenor ukuleles, very few exceptions. And the players that you do meet that are playing sopranos and concerts these days, they're almost a subgenre within a genre of ukulele music. So I'm thinking of people like the Ukulele Tin Man and George Elms. George Elms is a perfect example, somebody who champions soprano ukuleles, but just 12, 13 years ago, his subgenre of the ukulele was the norm. What do you think? I'd love to know, and it's something that I've been toying with for a while. I got an email just last night that prompted me to make this video from someone asking why the tenor was so popular, why concert ukuleles were associated with beginners, but tenors were where it's at when you become of a certain standard. And I think about my own playing and I think, shit. I sold all my concert ukuleles. I play mainly tenors and baritones. And all I can put it down to as a player, as an enthusiast, is the tenor ukulele no longer sounds like a guitar to me. And I think that in an effort to differentiate the ukulele from the guitar in the early 2010s, more and more people were playing sopranos, and just gradually, as they heard mature players playing tenors, they became the influencers without the social media aspect of things. They became subconsciously the genre-defining people of the ukulele. So, where did that start? I mean, you could go back to the 90s with Israel Kamakawui playing the Martin tenor. He had that Martin mahogany tenor. But I think actually it started with Jake. I think Jake playing in Central Park on his Kamaka tenor was the launching point for an entire resurgence of the ukulele and the ukulele size. You've got the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain, who have had, I would say, a similar impact in the ukulele world, getting people to pick it up, people to be enthusiastic about the uke. But this particular subject and how the tenor evolved, I feel like it all started in Central Park around 2005, 2006. It's funny, isn't it? Because I think about it now and I think about the mature ukulele player, and they are almost exclusively playing tenor ukuleles, playing a mixture of fingerstyle and strumming, and maybe that's what happened. The natural style of the ukulele evolved, and subconsciously players like Jake and James Hill were at the forefront of that, and here I am 16 years later, sat in my lounge in Bournemouth, England, talking about how certain ukulele players that have been taken for granted as being amazing have changed the world. So thank you, James, thank you, Jake, thank you, Taimani, thank you, Craig, thank you, Sarah, thank you, Manitoba Howe, thank you, Aldrine. Thank you, so many people that championed playing a particular way, and so many other people. But let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Which players have I missed out? And if you share this to a forum or a ukulele group, tag me in it. It's Ukes with Alex. I'd really love to continue this conversation. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in my content, you can join me on Patreon for as little as £3 a month, or my PayPal tip jar link is in the comment section below. Thanks again. Do you know what? I was just packing all the equipment down and I thought, there's something I didn't touch on in the video, which is you don't see many vintage tenor ukuleles. They're just not around in the same way that vintage sopranos are around. Also concerts, but concerts and tenors on the whole, they just really were not the popular instrument until much, much later in the ukulele's history. Despite Kamaka inventing the tenor ukulele in the 1920s, it's only really examples from the 50s and 60s onwards that where you see the tenor become more prominent. It's the same with old Gibsons. They made tenors, but you don't really see them. It's the same with old Martins. They made them, but they just were not built in the same numbers as the sopranos. So at some point, just in the last 50 years, the genesis of the popularity of the tenor ukulele has happened, and I love being involved in that. I love the fact that this ukulele, this size, is the history of it can be traced back within 2 generations. I mean, 3 or 4 generations if you want to find the very beginning of it, but its popularity is that fresh, that new. We're living in it. The tenor ukulele's rise has happened in the internet age. It's an internet baby. What do you think about that?